what is the best strategy for an artist that's looking to break into specifically getting these placements in film and television? Because I mean, obviously, we're going to get back to the actual production side of it, but I think this conversation in particular, getting those placements, it's not something that people talk about enough. Yeah. So, you know, what's like the 5 first steps that you would advise?
Because I work with TV, I'm actually a screenwriter too. I just, written a couple of things that I'm pitching out there. And when I'm writing, I got music in my head the whole time on my beats, and so think outside the box. Don't just think about, I gotta get my song on like the Nike ads. Like, be thinking about every single store that you pass up on the way going home. Like, those are local businesses that have no money. They might have a couple of dollars for your song. So, one, I would just make sure that if you're trying to come to someone like me, again, make sure you do your homework on who you're trying to pitch to. 2, look to see what other kind of music they've already used, because sometimes networks don't want to pay. They want to pay who's ever on the Billboard charts, and that's one of the biggest challenges that I had even at Turner, because I'm all about like who's new, who can I find, who can I discover, and they wanted to stick to who was on the charts as they grew bigger. And so, a lot of times they don't want to, I'm trying not to cuss, they don't want to, because I sat on all these other panels and everybody was cussing. I'm like, damn, that's what I sound like when I'm up there, I'm not doing it. So I do cuss though, just so so it comes out. So basically, I had like $3 million budgets. You want to talk money, like I was paying $50,000 for a 30-second song inside a promo, a 2-minute promo, a 30-second promo that had 30 seconds worth of music. $50,000. What does that mean to you? You should know what that means. 2 sides to a song, writers and pubs. So the pubs and the master. So you should know all of that. Samples, don't be bringing no samples, because once you bring samples, forget it. They're not clearing them. They don't want the headache of clearing them. Once in a while, you can find someone that's going to go against the grain and clear them. And so the other big thing, and this is something I bring up a lot, David Banner did this a long time ago. He wanted to do a commercial for Gatorade, so he did the commercial and put his music on it. So nowadays, like, y'all are like, you can create a commercial on your phone. I mean, my kids do it on iPads. You should actually create the commercial with your music in it and then pitch it and be like, yo, this is how dope I am with your stuff. Like, I hate to say it, but when you get to that level, and I'm gonna just tell you, I grew up a poor single mom in the projects on welfare. I know what it's like to grind. I was making 6 figures at Turner, doing nothing but just like getting music of whoever was hot. So I wasn't breaking anything, I wasn't changing lives or anything, and I would be like, man, there's just so much undiscovered talent. And another big thing that, so the reason I brought that up is to say, you need to go a step ahead, because what happens when you get to that level, unless you came from where I came from, you get lazy. So when you sitting there in corporate 6 figures, you're just lazy. You're like, okay, I just don't want to do work. I just want to hear this. It's already together. And one of the things I learned at Death Row from working with people like Dre, in 3 seconds, if your song ain't hot, I'm not messing with it. So you gotta be thinking about those long intros. Like, nobody cares about that. You gotta grab me out the gate. Like, it's gotta be that hot, so that way I'm feeling it enough. I'm sorry, am I hugging the mic? Okay, I'm sorry.
You saying pretty much.
And the other thing is, my artist is in the house. That's Cassell. He's on the grind, so y'all kind of give him some schooling on the game too. And then finally, so create those promos and like just to show them like I'm hot, like believe in your stuff. And if they don't want it, then there's other people that will. And then at the end of the day, so when I would be listening to that stuff, I would be like, okay, this person really went out of the box. And I would get music from every record label you can think of, Atlanta Records, Interscope, everybody you can think of. I worked with all of them. And then I would go to all the producers in the A, because all the music is starting there. I'm like, what are you baking? Let me hear it now before it even hits the labels. But you don't always get somebody like me. So you have to figure out, okay, I want to make it already ready for them. I don't care if you go and shoot a sizzle reel. Sizzle reels, for those that you don't know, is like a 3-minute piece that shows an actual TV potential show, which is what I do for a living as well. I get paid for my company to create those for people who can't shoot the actual pilot yet of the show. go out, have all your friends be in it. You know what I mean? Create something really dope with your music in it and show the impact of the song. And then lastly, you know, I mean, there's Turner pays and all of the networks pay. If you all don't know this, there's a blanket license deal. And what that is these libraries, if you're not familiar with them, Fix is one here in the A. And what they do is they have a slew of artists on there that have compositions. Extreme Music was one that I work with a lot. Extreme had Timbaland, Quincy Jones on there, Snoop's got his catalog. Like all that stuff you have in the lab, that's just like every day. Like Zaytoven said yesterday, he's making a song a day. You know what I mean? And like, so I'm sitting there going, damn, that's a lot of music. He should have a music library. So what that means is you have a library of beats, and you know, Turner will be like, oh, this producer's really dope, and he got that producer too. Let's just get one blanket license for the library. So what the networks do is they have access to use Timbaland beats, they have access to use Quincy's beats, everybody's beats in Extreme, and that's EXTREME music. So you should do some homework on that.
Take that down,
APM is another one. APM is another big one. EXTREME music. And you can kind of see how those libraries are set up. In Atlanta, there's one called the Fix, AFFIX, Simon and those guys.
As a newcomer, how do you get involved with one of these libraries?
I mean, with those guys, you gotta understand, you're not getting a whole lot of money on the library end, because they're really, like, they get a check and you just get some little crumbs off of what comes through, because Turner might, like for instance, how it works at Turner is I'm a promo producer, right? I need to create a promo for a show that's on TNT. You know, like when you see the wind blowing in their hair, you're watching the closer on TNT, right? So we go and spend all kinds of, I wore two hats. I was the director of production, so I used to produce all of those shoots with all of the actors while I was licensing music at the same time on set. So like production assistants, promo assistants, direct creative services. You want to look for those departments in the network, creative services or on-air creative for those networks, right? And you can tell them, like, here's my music, everything's sample free. I will let you use 10 of these beats for like a grip or a stack, $1,000. Sorry, I'm old school. I'm using some words. My kids are like, Mom, you don't say that no more. I'm like, whatever. I love this dope. So, you know, you want to go like, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm saying.
Listen.
Okay.
This is free game.
All right. Just tell me to shut up.
No, but I'm just saying.
But nicely.
What I'm saying is you're giving a behind the scenes.
Right.
We would tell you what to do, and then
this is what you
do. Because what they do on there, these are the guys that, you know, like I'm still learning some, like, cause everything's new, especially because I have an artist. Like everything is all new from when I was coming up. Like record labels. I mean, I was at Death Row when Pac was alive. You know what I mean? So like we were doing a whole different thing back then. We had some real big budgets. Well, anyway. So the promo producer is creating these promos. Music is always, I'm coming in, Gina, what do you got? What you got? And of course, like, they still want to hear big popular music, but I keep trying to push those libraries. The libraries, a lot of people put them on those little thumb drives, and they would just hit me in the head with those, which is really, as you know, a lot of y'all have those little cards that y'all been giving me, and the scanner things. I get libraries like that. And the smaller libraries, like Extreme's so big, they're online, and you can register on there, and then you can see all of their music and what they have. So I would try to be hitting those creative services or on-air department people at the networks. Then, if you're not hitting the networks, again, go hit up those mom and pop shops in the stores that you pass up, because they have to do local commercials because they hire me to shoot them. You know what I mean? I'll get them, and I'm like, you got music? No, so I come up with music for them. And my email address for everybody in this room, because I try to give it at panels, and I give it on my card. If I give you a card, it's Gina, Gina, listens, at gmail.com. And I will listen to everything y'all send me, just not in one day. I'm gonna wait till this panel is over, and then I gotta go to LA, and then maybe in like 3 weeks, I do like a music day. and I wait to hear my 3 seconds.
Wait.
No.
Now can I ask you this? Because you have Gmail, we know Gmail is super big. I'm pretty sure you agree. Send her links. Don't send the MP3s.
Please.
Cause by the time this first row sends the MP3 to back of y'all dead in the water. I mean, I'm just if you want it that way.
Well,
I mean, don't send me like 10 MP3s. I'd rather have links. If it's over 3 songs, send me links. If you only have MP3s, I understand. Like, I don't want you to have to try to figure stuff out if you don't have.
No, it's 2017, you guys. Like, there's entirely too many ways for you to send free, like, whether it's you send it, we transfer, Dropbox. Like, the one thing that and I'm not a producer, but I do listen to music for a radio show. Like, be professional with your stuff because a lot of times, and even the director of A3C said to me in an interview that a lot of times artists will submit to perform here and it's not necessarily that they're talented, but it's not presented right. So it's important for you to be able to, don't address Gina like, yo, what's good? No, like, or like when you see somebody with a name like mine, unless you know her, but you see somebody with a name like mine, my name is Ty. People don't know if I'm a guy or a girl. I get my nigga, I get yo, what's good, son, immediately. Because I'm on social media. Like if you have the email, you found it on social media. How hard was it for you to go through and find one selfie? Like I'm not a guy. So put in, the same way that she said to do the research. It's really important for you guys also to put the effort into being professionals with your music. You treat it like a hobby, people are going to treat you like it's your hobby. You treat it like a business, it's going to make you money.